Imagine this. New York City, a place buzzing with life where millions of people cross paths every single day. But hidden in that crowd, somewhere in the shadows, there's a figure who's been haunting the city for decades. A killer so mysterious that even the most determined detectives can't unmask him. He's called the New York Ripper. And here's the thing. His identity is still a total mystery. Victims, families, detectives, everyone is left in the dark. And no one has been more consumed by this case than Detective Wallace, who treats this investigation like her personal Bay Harbor butcher. A case that defines her career, her obsession, and maybe even her downfall. Dexter. Resurrection has teased us with hints and whispers, but still no concrete answers, which means fans like us have been left to do the detective work ourselves. Over the course of the first season, so many theories have surfaced. Could it be the charming billionaire Leon Prater? Or Wallace's very own partner, Detective Oliva? Maybe it's Charlie, a trained killer with secrets of her own? Or even Blessing, the most unexpected suspect of all? Leon Prater is the suspect who's probably getting the most attention. On the outside, he looks like everything a community could want in a public figure. A billionaire philanthropist, a man who donates to the police, a smiling face at charity galas. To the world, he's respectable, admired, maybe even untouchable. But peel back the layers and a much darker picture starts to appear. Leon isn't just casually interested in serial killers, he's obsessed with them. It's not academic curiosity. It's personal. He grew up in tragedy when his parents were murdered. And instead of recoiling from that trauma, he did the unthinkable. He befriended their killer. Imagine that. Building a bond with the very person who destroyed your life. If that doesn't warp your sense of morality, nothing will. This twisted mentorship could easily have planted the seeds for Leon's own transformation into the Ripper. He's wealthy, resourceful, and connected. He knows how to put on a mask of generosity while hiding the monster beneath. And if you think about Detective Wallace's lecture where she played the recording of the Ripper's voice, the tone, the roughness, it sounded uncannily like Leon. Middle-aged, deep, commanding. It's hard not to connect the dots. Plus, Leon's constant presence around law enforcement raises serious red flags. He's plugged into the system, aware of investigations, maybe even bribing officers. If he is the Ripper, that explains why Wallace, a sharp, capable detective, has spent her entire career chasing shadows. Leon could have been pulling strings the whole time. But here's the counter-argument. Isn't Leon too obvious? The writers know we're watching closely. They know we're trained to suspect the guy who looks like he's hiding something. And Dexter has always thrived on misdirection. If Leon really is the Ripper, it might feel a little predictable, which is why I think he's either a red herring or someone who's playing a role in the Ripper legend without being the killer himself. Now let's move on to one of the most intriguing possibilities. Detective Melvin Oliva, Wallace's own partner. Think about the irony. Wallace spends years chasing the Ripper, only to discover the man standing next to her in every briefing, every crime scene, every late-night discussion, is the very killer she's been hunting. That's the kind of gut punch twist Dexter is known for. Oliva checks several boxes. Age-wise, he matches the profile. He's experienced in law enforcement, so he'd know exactly how to avoid leaving evidence. And most importantly, he's been heavily invested in Wallace's obsession, sometimes even steering her away from the case. On the surface, that looks like concern for her career. But dig deeper, and it could be self-preservation. If she digs too hard, she might stumble on him. The phone calls are another clue. The Ripper's words are careful, calculated, leaving no trace. Who better to craft a perfect non-trail than a detective who knows exactly what investigators listen for? And let's not ignore the visual storytelling. In a recent episode, Oliva was positioned on screen right next to a New York Ripper headline. That wasn't an accident. Shows like this love their symbolism. They were practically dangling the possibility in front of us. If Melvin is revealed to be the Ripper, it would explain so much. The long gaps in killings could be him lying low while working cases. The frustration of Wallace could be because she's unknowingly being sabotaged from the inside, and narratively, it would be the kind of shocking twist that changes everything we thought we knew. For me, Oliva is one of the strongest candidates. Then there's Charlie. Some fans believe she, or even her mother, could be the Ripper. But honestly, I don't think the evidence supports that. Yes, Charlie is a killer. We know this. She has combat training, military experience, and she's no stranger to violence. But her targets tell a different story. Every kill we've seen from her has been someone dangerous, someone monstrous. She's not killing innocents for pleasure. She's eliminating threats. That's a huge difference. The Ripper kills for the thrill, for control, for some twisted satisfaction. Charlie kills with purpose. In that sense, she's more like Dexter, operating under her own code, however flawed. She also openly despises the idea of trophies, a hallmark trait of many serial killers. That suggests her mindset isn't aligned with the Ripper at all. To me, Charlie is a misdirect. A dangerous character? Absolutely. But not this dangerous. And finally, there's Blessing. If the show really wanted to shock us, this would be the reveal. Blessing comes across as one of the kindest, most genuine characters in the story. He's compassionate, he's supportive, and he's gone out of his way to help both Dexter and Harrison. On the surface, he doesn't fit the serial killer mold at all. But then there's his past. He was once a child soldier, forced into violence at a young age. The show made sure to tell us that detail, which means it matters. Combine that with his job as a driver, giving him access to the city, to strangers, to the private lives of his passengers, and suddenly, you have the logistics of a killer who can blend in perfectly. Imagine the reveal, the character we all trusted, the friend, the helper, secretly the monster in the shadows. It would hit hard. The problem? Blessing has shown empathy, real empathy, multiple times. He's been kind, generous, human. And that's not something you often see in true psychopaths. If he's the Ripper, the show will have to explain how he's hiding his darkness so convincingly. That's what makes him such a fascinating wild card. So where does that leave us? Leon Prater has the profile and the obsession, but he feels a little too easy. Charlie is a killer, but not that kind of killer. Blessing would be the most shocking, but the least consistent with what we've seen of his character so far. Which brings us back to Detective Melvin Oliva, the partner, the insider, the man closest to the case, who might have been the culprit all along. If I had to place a bet, he's the one I'd choose. Still, I don't think we're going to get the full reveal just yet. The Ripper mystery feels like the kind of long-running arc that stretches across multiple seasons. As long as the eventual payoff is clever, shocking, and satisfying, I'm more than happy to wait. So, what do you think? Is Leon the obvious answer? Melvin the hidden truth? Charlie the misdirect? Or Blessing the ultimate twist? Drop your theories in the comments. I want to know who you think is hiding behind the mask of the New York Ripper. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to stick around for more Dexter Resurrection deep dives. Until next time.